Welcome back to The Real Deal. I'm your host, Kim Hollingshead. Guys, we're talking about baby boomers and nuclear war. We're talking about Israel conflict and why it is that we went into Iran, why President Trump says we absolutely cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear bomb, because we know that Iran has said in the past their intention is to use it on Israel. And I think that is just so wild to me that anybody would think that it's okay to take out an entire nation of people. When that nation of people wants to protect itself and asks for help, they're somehow vilified for doing that. There's a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of crazy stuff that's being said online, but we need to really take a look at history and understand why it is that Israel is a country, where it came from, and, why this ongoing conflict in that area it has to stop already. It's got to stop. That happened, when Israel became a country, it was just generations of people ago. Now everyone has settled in, respective homeland. It's just not worth the death and the destruction that we continue to see. I really pray for peace to come about in that region of the world. I really do. But the reason why President Trump decided to go into Iran and to take out their nuclear program is because they were only months away from having a bomb. And that is a no-go for the United States. We will not allow that. I don't think it's good or safe for anybody in the world for the Iranians to actually have a nuclear bomb that is capable of taking out an entire other country. That would cause mass disruption in the entire world. Things are hard enough as it is. We don't need that. So we went into Iran. We know what's happened. Hezbollah, we've got the Houthis over there. We've got all kinds of enemies of Israel and the United States there. So what's ended up happening is that it has impacted the United States housing market in a way, because higher rates means higher mortgage rates, means that the Fed can't control inflation if it reduces interest rates, and we just can't have that. So they're trying, right now, inflation is already higher. It's at all-time high, not all-time high, but a high for this year was, I think in May, it was like 4.5%. It is down in the threes right now, but that's still way too high. They need to control inflation even more. So we're not going to see a reduction in rates. What did I tell you guys in January? Savannah, let's go back to the record and let's pull up what I said in January about what interest rates we're going to do this year. And I said they would not fall below 6% in the year 2026. We're not going to expect to see a reduction in interest rates, maybe in the back half, maybe in fall of this year. The good news is that we do have midterms coming up. So hopefully we can get some kind of relief before the midterms, because everyone's really mad at President Trump that he hasn't controlled affordability at this time. But, I definitely want you guys to think about the baby boomers when their interest rates were 18% and how they were buying a house that only cost $67,000, translated into a mortgage payment that was over $800. And people today, many people, you can't afford a mortgage payment that's $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. That's what it would relate to. When we take into account the value of today's dollar versus the value of the dollar in 1981. The baby boomers, they were just like, we're just going to take a hit and we're going to buy this house, because we know that that's the right thing that we need to do for our financial future. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can buy the home of your dreams or you're going to live in your favorite neighborhood. I'm not going to say that you don't have to move out to a suburban area somewhere. Maybe just buy a smaller condo in the middle of the city. Not saying you're going to get the home of our dreams, but we can definitely buy something, and just buy something, because what happens is the equity that is earned and the pay down on that mortgage actually compounds over time. And if you're a young person, don't wait until you're 40 to buy your first home. Just go ahead and bite the bullet and just, it's going to be hard. Just go ahead and buy the house now, because when you are a baby boomer's age and you don't have a home payment and you're able to take out a reverse mortgage and you have that peace of mind that you have made smart choices in your life, you didn't rent until you were 40, but you can actually have some money to tap into. That is just so valuable. So let's not disparage baby boomers. I don't think that boomer should be a derogatory term. I think that boomer should be something that people should be proud of, to be called a boomer, because they really lived through a lot as a generation. I think young people could really take a note from them about how to go through some challenging things and not complain. You don't have to talk bad about people. Let's not fall into crazy conspiracy theories and like blame everybody in the world for our problems, but to just accept things for exactly what they are, and, to just make better decisions and move forward in life. So if you're looking to buy a house, you don't know where to get started, just give me a call. It's 615-257-0565. I'll be glad to help you. And you guys, so that's it for today's episode. When we come back next week, we're going to be having a really cool discussion about a lawsuit that I was actually involved in. I wasn't the plaintiff or the defendant, but I got to serve as a witness. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I'm Kim Hollingshead. You're listening to The Real Deal, and I will see you next week. And hey, call your dad.